I'm back. Hey, and welcome. This is investing in building your credit and wealth. Hey, I'm Larry. My job here is to educate you on how to invest and build your credit and wealth. Credit and investing are linked, and people with good credit just have more money to invest. People with bad credit spend more time trying to get out of debt and do not have the money to invest. And there are simple reasons why. Because of high interest rates, loans, and high interest credit card collection, charge-off accounts, these actions consume any investment money a consumer may have with bad credit. So let me give you an example on why having good credit and investing your money is very important. The S&P 500, in its inception in 1929, all the way up until 2018, there's been an approximate return of 10 to 11%. If you do a compound interest calculator, and you could just go to Google and just download Google compound interest calculator, right? So let me give you some numbers. If you invested $500 a month, which is $6,000 a year for 20 years, we're just talking about 20 years, at an average interest rate of 10% return, you would have $381,378.75. So my job here is to motivate you and to build your credit, grow your wealth on this channel. So it's just important. I haven't been really putting out videos lately. I've just been consumed with, consumed with new clients. I'm getting clients in the door that work with other credit repair companies that are just not doing what they're asking them to do, not getting stuff off, not being honest with the consumer. More interested in taking money from you than really helping you. So my job here is to help you. So, my job is to really get down and just kind of show you. I've been fortunate. So I do have a very good job. People that know me, I'm retired military. I do have a credit repair business. I am a go-getter, but getting in the credit repair business really opened my eyes up to a lot of different things, to accelerate my growth, which accelerated me opening a business, which accelerated me looking at other avenues to grow my wealth. So it's all about leaving a legacy behind, leaving a legacy for other people that benefit off you so they can continue to grow and change a generation. And that's what we need to be doing. And that's what you need to be concentrating on doing. And that's what I'm all about on this channel. It's really about, I've had people that call me. I've had long conversations with people that watch videos, and any of them that probably, if they're watching this video, tell you, I just keep it real with you. My job is to help you. My job is not just to give you information, just solely to grow. I do want to grow the channel, but my job is I would rather not have one subscriber that I help that's giving out real information than have 1 million subscribers to be giving them a bunch of BS. That's just not what I'm about. That's just not what I made up. That's not my DNA. So my job is to really help you. So I do a lot of research about credit. I do a lot. And my job here is to give you that information, and that's what's so important to me. So every time I see a new subscriber come on and I say I got a new subscriber, that just let me know, hey, they like the material I'm giving out, and I want to continue to give out this good information. I know there's areas that I need to just get more videos out. Sometimes it's just so hard. I got clients that I'm working with. I have a full-time job to kind of consume, but anybody know me, if you call me on my business phone or if you send me a message on YouTube, I get back to you. I answer your question. If you're directing them to me, if you want to talk to me, I will give you my number. I'll give you my email address, and we can have a conversation, and I'll be straight up and honest with you. So it's all about different strategies, and I'm a strategist. I'm all about how do I strategize to get and help people improve, right? I understand how the Fair Credit Reporting Act is. I'm going to educate you on Metro too. You hardly ever people on YouTube talk about Metro 2. They tell you all these little gimmicks, or they tell you what you shouldn't and should do. And a lot of that information is just wrong. And it's when I listen to them, I know they haven't did any research. But I'm all about research. I believe in getting down and reading in the regulations. And in this class today, you're going to see why and why I dig deeper and give you the answers behind some of the questions that you may have and show you how to look at a credit report. This class today is all about identifying inaccuracies, how to deal with them, how to approach them, how to send out a dispute letter, all those strategies. And even at the end, if you're serious about repairing your credit, I do have a credit repair package that I give out. And it's not just letters. It's all about the manuals. It's all about all the different regulations. It's all about giving you every single thing you need, not just letters for you to just template letters for you to send out, just change your name and address and send them out. No, I can't educate you that way. I can educate you by giving you real information. I can educate you by showing you the manuals. I can educate you by showing you what you need to do. So you don't have to continually try to pay other people to help you. You educate yourself. I'm big on that. I mean, I may pay you one time, but I keep it real with you. I'm not trying to pay you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, because then that's shame on me. I should be going out getting the information. So my job is to get you that information. To give it to you, show you different strategies, show you how you could do it, tell you, be honest with you. That's not going to come off your credit report because that's accurate. But I can show you how to build your credit to minimize the damage that you've already done on your credit report. So that's my job. Don't let everybody tell you can get every single thing that's negative off your credit report. If you believe that, they got a whole bunch, they can sell you a whole bunch of land out there. The credit bureaus don't operate that way. The system is not set up that way. So it doesn't work that way. If one person did it, there's 1,000 person that didn't get it done. Not that way. So it's all about a combination of strategies. And when you talk to somebody that's dealing with credit repair, they should be talking to you about different strategies on how to improve your credit. You can have a bankruptcy on your credit report and build your credit. As that bankruptcy become old, it is no longer affecting your credit score. No, same way. There are certain things about FICO that people don't talk to you about. So my job here is to educate you so you can have a medical debt on your collection. You can have on some FICO scoring modules, if you have a collection that's less than $100, it doesn't affect your score. But you let people that don't not educated on how FICO actually scores and all the different modules and how they're different in how they score your credit report. All of them are different. They're coming out with a 10 and a 10 plus. That's the new FICO module that's coming out. You got all these different, you have mortgage FICO scores. They're different. Mortgage FICO scores may punish you harder on a collection account, on a unpaid collection account. So this is the other thing, misinformation. You got to realize your credit score is just one part of how you get approved for credit. Remember, have you ever heard of underwriters? Underwriters actually look at your credit report. So when people tell you don't pay that collection or don't pay that debt, don't pay that charge off, think about it. When you apply for a loan and you have unpaid bad debt on your credit report, what would make you think they're going to approve you? Just because your credit score is a certain credit score. I've seen people with a 700 or more credit score get denied for credit than a person with a 680. It's all in the overall look. We all make mistakes in our credit, but how we deal with our credit is a representation of how we're moving forward in dealing with other loans. So if you got all this bad debt and you're like, well, I'm not going to pay it. And I've heard on YouTube that don't pay this, don't pay that, paying this is bad. You listen to them, people give you misinformation because they don't understand how FICO scores your score. And they're not telling you the truth about what happens when an underwriter looks at your credit report. Your credit score just may get you through the system, But somebody is going to actually look at your credit report and say, okay, here go a collection account that's not paid. Here go another one that's not paid. Now, this is another one that's not paid. This collection account is 4 years old. She hasn't paid this collection account in 4 years. All that is a representation on how you're moving forward with credit. I'm telling you, in this day and age, with technology, with AI systems that people are putting in place that is going to be monitoring your behavior, its credit will become stricter and stricter to get. And I'm telling you that is going to separate you further away from people that are well off or people that are living in poverty. Because what's going to happen is they're going to restrict you from the access to money. So you listen to people that give you bad information, that is on you. I'm telling you the truth. I'm giving you the truth about it, right? I am telling you, listen, you can, all that stuff eventually at some point it's going to fall off. But do you want to wait 7 years and lose a bunch of money? I did a video that I'm going to tag to this video called Credit is Linked. Credit is about keeping you in poverty. Listen to that video. That's what credit is. So I just want to talk about that a little bit and kind of put that out there because I want to motivate you into improving your credit. Do what you have to do to improve your credit. There is ways to improve your credit. There are strategies to improve your credit, right? And when you improve your credit, you will have more money to invest. And even on this channel, I'm getting into giving more tips about investing. I've really been trying to get into that. I mean, I've been on top of investing. I've started investing, about 6 months ago. And just in 6 months, my portfolio is up to $10,000 in 6 months. My goal is in 1 year to have about $25,000 invested, right, in my portfolio. And I'm already investing I'm having a 19% return on my money right now in investing. So they're telling you 10, 11%. Right now, I'm at 19% because of research, because of actual research, investing in the right companies, not going out investing in all these different penny stocks, but investing in solid companies that are bringing back returns, investing in dividend stocks to create another streamline of income. I'm telling you, it is all out there, but you have to find the right people and listen to the right people that's going to put you in the right direction. Quit listening to people that give you a bunch of misinformation. And because it sounds good and it sounds easy, that you turn around and you follow and you fall into that trap, right? It's not easy rebuilding your credit. It's not, the system is not set that way, but it could be done. It could be done in 6 months, 12 months. It could be done. I did a video with me and my wife. You can go in and I'll attach this. And there's another video I did with me and my wife. My wife had a 484 credit score when we got married, right? And then we were ready to buy a house. Her credit score kept us from getting a house. That's what got me into all of this. Improved her credit from a 484 to a 720 in about 15 months. But I learned, I read, I researched. I learned different strategies that may work because one strategy doesn't work on everybody. But I did that, right? That's what got me into helping people. That's what got me into getting in, opening up a credit repair business. That what got me into that. That's why. That's what. I don't charge monthly fees. I don't do all that type of stuff like that because for one, I'm not helping nobody like that. Do I charge a fee? Yes, I charge a fee, but it's a minimum fee because I know at the end, bringing them up, getting their credit is going to improve their livelihood. So, hey, that's my little speech for the day. You're probably going to hear these speeches all the time because my job is to motivate you, to get you to understand, man, build your credit so you can build your wealth. Right? Don't sit here and be putting your money away in the savings account. You're not going to get rich that way. Don't rely just on your 401 at work. Don't just rely on that. Build. So at one time for y'all young folks, so when you're about 35, 40 years old, you may be able to retire at 40. But if you're doing right by your money, investing your money, doing the right thing, buying a home, start from building, investing your money, you could be sitting at home, and be doing what you want to do. Open up your own business, do whatever you want to do in the latter part of your life without working. Nobody wants to work when you're 50, 60, 70 years old. So hey, that's my little speech for today. We're gonna get into this exciting class. This class is all about how to identify inaccuracies. We're gonna talk about, certain things on your credit report. So bear with me, stay tuned. I'm gonna leave examples up in this video. So follow me. If you have any questions, you could please leave me a message. Say, hey, Larry, how do I get in contact with you? Boom, boom, boom. It'll be in the descriptions, my email, and shoot me an email, say, hey, Larry, I need to talk to you. I'll shoot you my phone number, right? And then we can have a conversation. But I also want to thank all my new subscribers. I appreciate you coming out. I mean, I started this channel about 6-7 months ago, you know what I mean? And it's been an amazing journey, just helping people out, talking to people. As people call me, well, I'm in California, call me for all the way from the East Coast. Hey, I've seen your videos. I like you. You seem sincere and real. You keep it real, and reached out. And I mean, I've talked to people probably for an hour, connected. We was military. They was in the military. I was in the military. Or somehow we had some kind of connections, have been through some things, and it's been a great journey reaching out and helping people. So, hey, I want to thank all my new subscribers. Please hit the thumbs up with this video and my channel. It just helps, just spread the word out to get more people so I can really actually help more people. That's we all have a calling in life, right? It's my calling. This is something that I'm passionate about, is to help people. And people that know me, they'll vouch for that. That's just my whole thing. It's enough out here for all of us. I don't need to be greedy. Well, I don't need to be that way. It's all about helping. You know what I mean? The man above would take care of me. So I don't need to be there. My job is to help and give y'all the knowledge to help you, to push you in the right direction. The same way I was pushed, it's my job to push you. So, hey, let's get into this class. How do we identify inaccuracies? So we're going to talk, a lot of this information is coming out of Metro 2 reporting guidelines. What is Metro 2? Metro 2 is the standard guideline for how creditors are supposed to be reporting information on your credit report. That's what it is. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is what are some of the guidelines on what are your rights that you should be doing or be able to dispute things on your credit report. So section, you may have permissible purpose, inquiries. It just tells you that the Fair Credit Reporting Act says, hey, in permissible purpose, you should be able to, a creditor must have your permission to pull your credit report, right? Those things like that, 609, 607, 623, 605, 605A, all these different sections are just, areas that show you. But Metro 2 is the guideline, and it is broken down in the Metro 2 guidelines on what they could do, how they're supposed to be reporting things on your credit report. So I have a couple examples on some errors that collection companies do, some things you need to understand, what it actually means, what that section actually means, so you can better identify there's inaccuracies and know how to go after to correct. The most frustrating thing about doing disputes is you do a dispute, you really don't even know how to dispute. You just send in something and hope it comes back the way you want it. But when you don't dispute properly, you can't sue the credit bureaus because it was not a clear understanding of what they were trying to dispute. Remember, the credit bureaus are major, huge corporations that bring in a lot of money. So you better be on point and understand before you walk in to get a consumer lawyer and try to sue the credit reporting agencies on how they're reporting information. So that's why you need to understand what is the guideline. Because if you understand the guidelines and you take them to court, you said, I followed the guidelines of Metro 2. And Metro 2 said it should be reported that way. I disputed it with the credit bureaus saying they are not reporting this accurate on my credit report, and they refuse to correct my credit report. You'll win them cases all day long. But if you don't understand how to dispute, you don't understand the sections, you're not disputing properly, you'll never win those cases, right? So it's all about understanding. So we're going to talk about some of these areas. I'm going to read over some of the stuff for you so you get a clear understanding. And I'm going to show you why it's important to understand and if that is inaccurate and if you're reading it right or understanding what that actually is. So the first thing you want to do in any time, if you have a very poor credit score and the first thing you're looking over is your personal information and you see there are inaccuracies or some addresses that are extremely old, listen, to get those off without battling with the credit reporting agencies, you should freeze your Nexus Lexus account and you should freeze your Stage Stream account and you should freeze your Innovis account. And you should freeze, just lock all your credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and then Innovis. These are the ways you really can effectively do stuff. We're not wasting time, right? And then go in, do a security freeze on your LexisNexis and Stage Stream account. Why? Because they are data furnitures that hold information. So just think about it. Where do they verify your addresses from? Do you think they're contacting a creditor? No. They're looking toward third-party entities that house your information that may have that same thing. And listen, when they say verify, all they saying is we verified it with another agency that has the same information that we have. So what you should do is you need to eliminate their access to the information. Once you limit the access to that information, it makes it harder. So what does the credit bureau? Because they could not access that information, they have to take it back. Why? Because if they say verify, you're going to send another letter, a method of verification letter. How did you verify this information? And in the credit report, a lot of times they'll say they verified this information with Nexus Lexis or some other third party. You have to read in your credit report. Don't just try to go straight to, did they delete it? Did they not delete it? Look at all the information in there. Take your time. Understand it. All right. First step, look at your personal information. If there's inaccuracies in the name, your addresses, those are the steps you should take. Again, freeze Innovis. You want to do all your credit reporting, Innovis, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. You need to freeze Stage Stream. You need to freeze Nexus Lexis. Then go after it. Sometimes where people make a lot of mistakes too is they try to dispute too much at one time. That's what people make a lot of mistakes. And we're going to talk about different strategies why I'm so successful in what I do, right? Too much at one time. Don't try to dispute your name, addresses, and 15 accounts, right? Don't do that. It's too much. They're going to send you back a letter that's going to say they verified it when they actually probably didn't. Just too much. Don't overwhelm the credit bureaus with trying to get too much done at one time, right? I'm just saying, I always say about five items. But when it comes to personal information, I do that by itself because I don't want them trying to confuse my disputes on this end with my credit disputes because they're different sections. You have personal information, you have public records, and then you have your accounts. So I don't try to mix all of them together. What I try to do is I'm going after the personal information. And then if I say, hey, all this is wrong, I talk to my clients. I say, listen, I can get this off, but there's some things I need to do. Is it okay? We need to freeze this. Yes. Are you planning on getting any credit anytime in the near 60 to 90 days? No, I'm not. Hey, let's go ahead and get this stuff froze. Let me send in dispute. And then once we get it off, we'll unfreeze them. Right? Or we'll just wait till we go through the credit repair process, get as much stuff off we can, get your score where then we'll unfreeze it. Step. That's what you need to do. And that will help you not waste time sending letters, waiting 30 days. They come back, we verify this information. You send another letter, 30 days. I mean, it's just too much time. You don't have that kind of time when you're trying to repair your credit. So do it right the first time. So we covered that, personal information. So that's what you need to do. Freeze those for personal information. Now, when it comes to public records, that's something else that's going to be a different class. So some people want to know, how do I get bankruptcies off? We'll have another class on how to get bankruptcies off. I'll put a class together. So please hit that smash, because it is a lot of work getting y'all all this information. Please share the channel. Please, put the word out. Hey, this guy right here, keep it real. And he's giving some serious information. So that's the first thing you want to do. Check out the personal information. It could disassociate you with other accounts that may be on your credit report, right? So that's the first thing, because the way the credit bureau, they're looking at your personal information. Okay, the name. Okay, this account says your name on it. Oh, so eliminate the access to your information, right? That gives you more, that takes some of the leverage away from them and puts some of the leverage. I'm all about leverage. You'll hear me talk about leverage all the time. It's all about leveraging, right? So now you went through that process. You corrected some personal information. Now you want to get down, you're reviewing your credit report, right? Now you're looking, you're trying to understand. So the first thing we're going to talk about, you have some charge-offs. We're going to go where you got some charge-offs, you're going to have some bad debts, you're going to have some collection accounts. You're trying to figure out, what should I be looking? First thing we're going to talk about is the open date. What is the open date, right? Do people really understand what the open date is? And this is off Metro 2. Report the date the account was originally open. Right? That is the date that the account was originally open. So if you had a credit card and you opened it in May of 2015, but they have it that you didn't open this account till May 2016, that's inaccurate. You challenge that. We're going to talk about how to challenge that. Valid date open must be reported. Field cannot be 0 or blank. That field could never be 0 or blank. So if you see a 0 or blank in that section, that is inaccurate. You should dispute that account based on that. What I would do is say, based on Metro 2 reporting, that this field cannot be 0 or blank. It must contain the date. Nor it cannot have a future date. If that date is in the future, somebody made a mistake reporting, you need to look at that, right? For companies who report return checks, such as collection agencies, report the date of the check. So if you send a check out to a collection agency and that check is returned, it will change the date. So be careful. There's some strategies I use, personal checks, what they're called restrictive endorsement letters. We'll talk about that. And I have videos about restrictive endorsement letters and how to use them. In my credit repair package, I have a package that gives you all the instructions. Use very powerful tool, works all the time, right? I have like a 99% success rate in there. So, and it tells you who you can use them with and who you can't use them with, right? So just understand, open dates are the date the account was actually open. The original creditor opened it. So even a collection company, when they do it, it's the date they bought the debt, not the date it was originally open. It's the date they bought the debt. So that's the first thing I want you to understand when you're talking about open dates. Now, the next thing we want to talk about, because it's very important, is the first delinquency date. We're going to go through this and put some examples up in the video. So it is a very important date. This tells you how long this is actually going to be reporting on your credit report. So it's actually like 7 years and 1 month. That's how long it doesn't may not fall off right at say maybe 7 years or 1 month. Some things may fall off a little early. Credit reporting agencies may give you a break and knock it off in 6 years and 9 months, 6 years and 10 months. It's all about the first delinquency date. So what is the first delinquency date? So I'm kind of go over this. So the purpose, the date will be used by the consumer reporting agents to determine when delinquent date is to be deleted. That is the first delinquency date. So the first date you was delinquent on that account and you never paid another payment, it became delinquent on that date, is the first delinquency date. And your time starts from that date 7 years and 1 month before it could be deleted. I don't recommend anybody not paying your debt for 7 years and 1 month because it's going to hurt you. Like I said, underwriters are going to look at that, and it decreases the amount that they have that they'll think that you're going to pay that debt off. So please don't let unpaid accounts just handle it, and you're going in there and letting people run your credit 20 times. You got 50 inquiries because nobody wants to give you any credit, man. It's just another thing, another error that's going to damage your credit report. Right. It gets real technical. It says how to report. Reporting the date of first is based on the following hierarchies, right? And this is all about in the Metro 2 reporting. So I'm looking at this is Metro 2 reporting, right? Just all about the hierarchy and how, right? So I just want to kind of show that, and this will be in the video. I just want to turn it around, let y'all see it so y'all know what I'm kind of reading off of. It says the account codes. When Metro 2, it's all about the codes. It'll say code 61 through 65, 71, 78, 80, 82 to 84, 88 through 89, and 93 to 97. Report the date of the first delinquency that led to the status being reported. So when you get an account that says up on your credit report in the account status, and that's what we're talking about, it'll say delinquent, right? The account is delinquent. Right. And it just tells you that the first delinquent should be filled. It should not, the delinquent should be filled. Then if the account goes delinquent again, the first delinquency date starts over and a new delinquency date is reported. So again, if you was delinquent in May of 2015 and then you make another payment till August, that delinquency date and that date of first delinquency change. It changes. So that's what happens. Understanding that the first delinquency date is the date that you first became delinquent. So now people have questions. How is delinquency reporting? So this question is this: how are delinquencies calculated, right? The answer is delinquency should be calculated from the date, the due date. For consumers reporting purpose, an account is not deemed to be delinquent until it is at least 30 days past due the date. So if you have your bill is due on the 1st and on the 31st of that month, then that account could be deemed delinquent and they could report it on your credit report. Understand that. It's 30 days. So if it's 31 days in that month, on the 31st day, it could be reported delinquent, right? So question, how do account statuses and payment ratings and special comments interact with delinquency? Answer is, the account status is used to report the current condition, the account such as current or 30 days past due. So I want to give you an example of when that is wrong. And I'm putting it up to show you in the video. So hold up, where my stuff at? So we're going to look at this one account that I have up in there. We're going to look at it. it is showing that account is paid at zero. The account is paid at zero, but they're reporting late 120 days. That is an inaccuracy. So yes, they updated the account as paid, but they did not update the payment status as current. They left it as late 120 days. Now you got underwriters looking at that and saying, man, it's the algorithm is going to punish you for that late payment, right? So you need to clear that up. So you need to dispute that, right? Because the account has not been updated to its current status. So when you dispute this, you're going to dispute that, hey, based on how delinquencies are reported and this derogatory account, that this account is showing that I am still late 120 days. This account has to be updated to a current status because this account is no longer late 120 days. And people always want to just deal with the credit bureaus. Now, what you should also do is you send this information to the original creditor and say, listen, you are reporting that you never updated this account to be current. This account was paid on the last payment date, and this account is no longer late 120 days. This account is current. The credit bureau is reporting. I have disputed it with the credit bureaus, and I'm also disputing it with you to update this information on my credit report. So I send a letter in to the original creditor, and I send a letter in to the credit bureaus. So now if it doesn't get fixed, I have proof that I've done it to both. I sent the letter into the original creditor, and I've also sent the letter into the credit bureaus. So if the credit bureaus come back and say reach out to the original creditor, now you know they didn't even verify with the original creditor. They just sent you back because they didn't feel like it. They just thought they was overwhelmed and they didn't want to deal with it. They said it was minimal. It wasn't important to you. It's not hurting your score, which it is. And then you'll be like, no, I did reach out to you. Here goes the letter that I sent you to correct that. And I also sent the letter to the original creditor, right? So that's how you attack. It is okay to attack both areas when it comes to inaccuracies on your credit report. Now, listen, some people want to get accurate information off, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you what Metro 2 says about trying to get accurate information disputed off your credit report. So that's what you need to realize. You can try, and if you're dealing with a credit reporting agency, a credit repair agency, and they're going to tell you they can get accurate information off your credit report, you should raise an eye. Now, they should say, I could try to see if I can dispute some inaccuracies on here, but you are not supposed to be trying to remove accurate information off your credit report. That's why a real credit reporting agency would tell you, hey, I can help you build your credit report to overshadow this negative information that is reported that is accurate. I can show you how to build your credit report, and as that account becomes old, it's paid, it will not hold any value against FICO. It's not going to hold any value. Right? It's not going to affect your score in any way, in any form, based on the information that the FICO scoring modules tell you, that it's not going to affect that. So that's what you need to do. That's how you find a legitimate credit repair company that's being honest with you up front. And I'm going to be honest with you because I'll tell you, did you have this account? Yes. Did you default on this account? Yes. Was this account open this date? Yes. Was this yes. Well, it's accurate. So, I can't get that off. I'm going to just be disputing accurate information, and the chances of it getting off is probably 5%, right? So let's concentrate on the things that are inaccurate. Let's concentrate on areas that we can improve your credit score to overshadow that. That's what you should be doing, and that's what you should be hearing if you want to deal with a professional, because I'm a credit repair expert. Like, I dig into the information. So been to seminars, credit repair classes, all that stuff to grow in my skill, my craft, whatever you want to call it. But I'm telling you, that's what you want to do. So you can listen to people tell you misinformation, but all they're doing is setting you up for failure. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is charge-offs. We're going to go into a little bit and kind of go over what charge-offs are, what you need to be looking for, stuff like that. I'm going to talk about some strategies when it comes to charge-offs too. So what are charge-offs? How should charge-off be reported? Metro 2 says the answer is report the following base segment field. So Metro 2, like I said, it's the standard guideline. So it tells you how fields are supposed to be filled out when reporting this information to the credit bureaus. So it says account status equals 97, what is the field. Unpaid balance reported as a loss, charge-off. The current balance and the amount past due equals the outstanding balance amount, which may include fees and interest. So fees and interest can be included. The original charge-off amount equals the original amount charged to loss, regardless of the declining balance. The Fair Credit Reporting Compliance says the date of first delinquency that led to the account being charged off. So the date that account was charged off equals the first delinquency date. So some credit reporting agencies give you that first delinquency date. I think the only one that does it is Experian. Experian will put on a credit report, it shall report until this date, right? But TransUnion, Equifax don't give you in your credit report the first delinquency date. But it's not where you can establish to make sure when that first delinquency date is. All right. Close date for installment and mortgage account type I, it just tells you the section. Revolving open lines of credit. If the account is closed, report the date the account was closed to further purchases. Otherwise, zero field. Date of last payment. Date of the consumer's most recent payment. So a lot of times those date of last payments are wrong. And I can tell you from experience, they would change that date and try to act like they verified that date, but they just changed the date. I'll look at the date and I'll be like, how did y'all change it from this date to this? And both of these dates are still wrong. So make sure you understand when was the last date they received the payment. Talk to the original creditor. Dispute it with the original creditor. That's why I say you can also dispute with the original creditor, especially if it's inaccurate. You don't have to solely rely on the credit bureaus, right? You can dispute the original creditor is reporting it wrong. They sent that information to the credit bureau. They processed that information, which they probably didn't process it right. So you hit both of them. I believe in hitting both. I hit collection agencies and I hit the credit bureaus because I understand how collection agencies work. I ain't scared of them. I know exactly how they work. I know when the statutory limitations are. I know when you could be sued, when you can't be sued. I know the type of information they must have to claim that they have legal standing to collect that debt. Just because they call you and tell you that you owe them money don't mean you owe them money. It means you need to figure it out. But I have videos and strategies on how to deal with collection companies too. If you want more information, I'll do another video. If you say, hey, Larry, can you do another video on it? I'll break it down, do another video on it. So the last payment is the last payment that was actually the consumer received from you. So look at that. Is that correct? If it's not correct, dispute it, right? So that's charge off. What are the strategies for charging off? So you have to look at your state. I'm giving you, these are real nuggets. So I'm in California. The statutory limitations is 4 years. You have a charge off that's older than 4 years. They cannot sue you for it. All they can do is report it on your credit bureau. Now, because they can't sue you for the debt, and they have to tell you that when they're talking to you about the debt. If they don't tell you that, they're in violations of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. They have to let you know that you cannot be sued for this debt. And if they don't do it, you can go after them, right? Because they're not following the guidelines, right? They have to say, hey, we are attempting to collect the debt, and the information obtained can be used to collect this debt from you. You can no longer be sued for this account based on what state you live in. Some states, the statutory limitations is 6 years, some may be 8, some may be 12, some 4, some 3. So understand what the statutory limitations for reporting. Now, once it's past that statutory limitations for reporting, you've gained some leverage back. You can kind of breathe a little bit because they cannot sue you for the debt. They could pass it on to a collection agency. They could throw it on your credit report, but they can't. Now, you're bringing back some leverage. Now you're starting to get leverage back. So what do? First thing you could do is, look, try to request a 1099-C. What is a 1099-C? It's a cancellation of debt. Cancel the debt. Write them a letter. Hey, I'm requesting a 1099-C. I have strategies on that. I have a restrictive endorsement letter, and I'm going to get into that can help you do that. If you're interested, let me know. Send me an email. You can look up my email in the comments, and we could talk about that. Right? So you request a 1099-C for the cancellation of debt. Now, how do you make that more powerful? Right? Because they may just be like, I'm not canceling the debt. You owe us $10,000. I'm not canceling the debt. I need something, right? So I always tell my clients, listen, try to give them at least 30%. So that's what I do with my restrictive endorsement letters. I create a contract between the client and the company, or the collection aid, where the collection agency, that's a whole different, we get that. But with the original creditors charging and all, requesting, and out there send in a payment. I'll talk to you more about that. Don't just be doing it without getting the real information. You may make a mistake. So because it's a contract, how do you create the contract? So you send, I have a letter, it's called a restrictive endorsement. It requests a 1099-C on the basis of these terms and conditions. And by them accepting its terms and conditions for making a payment of 30% and requesting a 1099-C. Right? But in there, you're going to also put, that this is past the statutory limitations. You can't sue me for it. So can we come up with some resolution on resolving this debt? Now, if they do send you a 1099-C, it's past the statutory limitations for reporting. You can get that removed off your credit report because they have canceled the debt. It would no longer report on your credit report, right? So there are some strategies in trying to get that done, right? But sometimes, it's going to take a little money. Everything ain't free. So I'm just telling you. So I'm not going to tell you send in a 1099-C and they just going to go ahead and send you request a 1099-C, and you sit in, they just going to give you a 1099-C. It may be that could be your first choice, waiting for a response. And then your next choice be like, okay, well, let me create a contract between me and the original creditor to make a settlement amount, get a 1099-C so I can get it taken off my credit report. Very good strategy. If you're interested in that, hey, reach out to me. Like I said, email. I got a package I could get you to help you through all those situations. So that's charge-offs, right? Now we're going to get in something. We're going to talk about collection accounts. And we're going to talk about what Metro 2 reporting saying. And then you're going to see some illustrations on some errors that their collection companies do. And I see a lot of it on, I don't see it on TransUnion, but I do see it sometimes on Experian, but I see it a lot on Equifax. They violate it all the time. And I'm going to show you some illustrations of that. So we're going to talk about collection agencies. And one of the main things they do wrong, right, with collections, how they report it. So we're going to talk about, I got a couple examples. The first example I'm going to show you is with LVNV. So LVNV is a debt buyer. And for some of y'all that may have dealings with LVNV, they like to pass it on to a third party, another third party, to actually collect the debt, right? So some of the things that I see that are wrong, and we're going to cover this in one of the main things they do wrong is they don't list the original creditor, right? And I'm going to read what Metro 2 says about the original creditor name, right? And they also like to report a past due balance. And they also like to report the account was late, either 60 days, 30 days, 120 days, which they cannot do that, right? Those fields, they cannot fill those fields because, for one, they are not the original creditor. They are a debt buyer. So everything, you never entered into a contract with them, so they cannot report you a past due with them because they're not the original creditor. Even though they bought the debt and they may hold the rights to the debt, they are not the original creditor. You've never made payments to them. You never agreed to making any type of payments to them. You never agreed to the amount that you were going to make with them. You never agreed to anything. So they cannot report late, or they cannot report a past due balance. What they can report is that it's derogatory in the account status, the amount, the balance that you owe, and then the payment status, they put collection / charge off. That's what all they can do. They can't post a date of last payment. And if you see an illustration and I'm showing you all those different things at the arrow of things that they're reporting, that is not correct. So let me read what Metro 2 says. It says in K1 segment, which I'm going to show you this too, the segment must be presented each time the account is reported by a collection agency, debt buyer, a check guarantee company, student loan guarantee agency, and the U.S. Department of Education. The purpose of reporting the original creditor name is to help the consumer identify the source of the account when they appear on their credit report. Without the original creditor name, the consumer may not know what the account represents. Some state laws and the CDIA policy stipulates that the original client / creditor must be identified. Federal law stipulates that the name of the payee must be identified when reporting return checks. Only one occurrence of K1 segment can be appended to the base segment if not applicable. Do not report the K1 segment. Note: to assist with compliance of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, companies who report medical debts or return checks for medical purpose must report the creditor classification 02 to indicate medical or health care. The actual name of the original creditor should continue to be reported in the original creditor name field 2. So that lets you know. So now if you look at this report, this is a client that I have. This shows you that they have a debt with LVNV. No original creditor name on there. Then they have a past due balance, which they're not the original creditor. They have it's late 120 days, which you never agreed. You never entered into any kind of contract with them. So you've never entered into a payment agreement with them. No payment agreement was ever stipulated with them. All that, and they're reporting as they're the original creditor. Show me the contract to show that you're the original creditor, that I have agreed to making payments to you. I've agreed to making monthly payments to you, and then I'm 120 days late on the payments that I agreed to make with you. That's how you dispute those type of things. Those are the questions that you ask, right? In there, right? Then they got last payment date. Show me when the last payment date, when was the last payment? Show me proof that the last payment to LVNV funding was on that day that was made to LVNV funding, right? Now, this company is even reporting it wrong on your credit report, right? Most likely, they probably don't even have all the information. You could take this and get you a consumer lawyer. This is how they're reporting. It's illegal. Metro 2 says that this is how it should be reported. I'm not paying them $1,000, $1,100 for a debt. Maybe I should just go ahead and hire me a consumer lawyer. Most likely, maybe I just don't have to pay them anything. And then I could sue them for not reporting it correctly and pay my lawyer for that. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm telling you, that's what I would do if I was in this situation, understanding what I understand about how things need to be reported, right? Let me give you another example of another creditor, right? This is National Credit Adjust, right? They got on here that the balance is 38, they're past due 38, and they're late 120 days. Same thing applies. They don't have any original creditor. Who is the original creditor? I don't know who the original creditor is, which says in Metro 2 that they must do that. So that's why I'm telling you, when I'm giving you information, I'm giving you serious, real information, what the regulation says. I'm not repeating what other people are telling you. I'm showing you. There go the example. If you need any of this information, email me. I'll scan this email to you, show it to you, and help you, which could help you write your own dispute letters, right? And if you want to buy my dispute package, right, I could say the whole dispute package. I know I haven't mentioned how much it was. They probably say, well, how much is it? How much is it? So the dispute package is $60 up front. That's it. You get all this information. You get everything to help you dispute. Wow, $60 and you're done. You got the information in front of you. You don't need to pay somebody $120 every month, $99 every month. You can learn to do this stuff on your own. And I'm giving you access to this information. Like I said, I'm all about trying to help you, right? I'm fortunate I can do that. But please subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I didn't say that a few minutes ago. So hit the thumbs up, say you like, share the channel, right? So that's very important information when you're looking, so you can identify these inaccuracies, right? Why are you, because most people will look at this and not even know that that's inaccurate, that the past due is inaccurate, that the late 120 days is inaccurate, that the date of last payment is inaccurate, that they didn't have the original creditor name up there. That's wrong. That's inaccurate. Some people wouldn't know and not even know how to dispute it. So they just probably say that account's not mine, which you should never do, because now you made it easy for them. All they need to find out is your name on that account. Then it's verified. So you got to understand how to dispute items on the credit report and how to go after them, right? And then you build a file, right? Build a file, man. The system is there for us there, but we got to use the system. If you don't use the system to your advantage, then you're helping them out, right? Use the system. I'm all about using the system. They done built the system, know how to use it. So that's how you deal with collection companies, right? Just understand they are debt buyers. A lot of these companies are debt buyers. Medical debts, same way. You got a medical debt, they have to report it as a medical debt. What you need to do, if they're doing that, you need to call the hospital. Make sure that debt is, like, there are collection agencies trying to collect on debts that have been paid by the insurance company. It may not was paid at the time that the medical facility sent the debt over, but then later on the insurance paid the debt and never reached out to the collection agency and said, no, that debt was taken care of, please drop that debt. That's why some collection I reported, I had a client last month, he had up to 15 medical debts. I can show you. I mean, it's about 10 or 15. Got all of them deleted, right? So I'm just telling you, you have to understand how to get this stuff removed, how to get this stuff deleted from your credit report, right? So, so understand that. I just wanted to bring this video on how to identify inaccuracies with collection agencies, with charge-offs, some strategies. I have videos on strategies with collection companies that have strategies where I talked about those strategies for charge-offs. But hey, just understand Metro 2 powerful. You ain't gotta believe, Google it. Metro 2 reporting. Pop, it'll pop on up there, right? But I have the manual for Metro too. So my credit repair has the whole manual. It's 200 and something pages on every single thing that's legitimate. In my credit repair package, I have the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I have affidavits to go after collection agencies. I have restrictive endorsement letters, how to settle a debt and get a debt removed off your credit report. All of that, showing you how to build your credit. What are the easy ways to build? What kind of credit do you put on your credit report? How do you build your credit? Do you have a business? What kind of business credit can you do? It's all about understanding, growing. So if you have any information, look, anything you want to ask me, hey, I'm pretty fluent about getting back to people. Just if you want to give me a call, you want to have a quick, 15, 30-minute conversation, we can schedule something and we can talk about your credit. We can go over things like that and I can guide you in the right direction, right? Don't let people tell you don't pay debt collectors, right? So what they telling you that, but they ain't telling you how to get it off, or they give you this gimmick that don't really work, right? Quit doing that. Quit doing that. Find out what you need to do. What are strategies that you can get it off? I think I've had a strategy that's been working for me and it's been amazing. But I did my research, right? Talked to consumer lawyers. Can I do this? Can I do that? Yes. What would happen if I do this? They didn't do it. Hey, you may have legal grounds because they just entered into a contract with you. Boom, boom, boom. Right? It's all about understanding what you can do and reaching out to the right people. So, but yeah, I want to give y'all this information. So if you want to get back with me, you want to shoot me an email, you do have questions about it, please, 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 please reach out to me. I'll keep it real with you. Been there, done that. So I just want to help people. That's why I tell people all the time, it ain't about how much money you make. And I'm proving on that. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make, how you invest your money, and then how do you take care of your credit to be able to increase the amount of money you can invest back into yourself. Right? If you have investing money back in yourself, could be a lot of things. Opening up a business, investing your money in the stock market, opening up an IRA, pounding your 401 at work. Right. But if you're taking care of your credit and you're not paying creditors all this amount of money and you're managing, you'll be able to invest more money. I gave you a simple example of 500. Just imagine if that was 1,000 that you did on top of that 10%. Google that. Go Google that and do a calculation, compound interest calculator. I have a video that I rented a place, and this is before we purchased our home and had our home built. I was paying $27.50 a month. I did a compound interest calculator on 7%. If I would have invested that a month for 3 years, I would have had I think it was $108,000 or $109,000 in 3 years. 3 years, right? 3 years. So in 10 years, if I did that, I would have over $1 million. So I'm telling you, it's all about taking care of your credit, investing your money. Follow me. I'm going to be doing more videos on investing and what kind of companies to invest in. I do have a Facebook group called Learn How to Remove Negative Items. It's in the description. I have a Facebook group on investing to $1 million. Right? We talk about investing, what kind of stocks to get into. I have a group and we share information, all that on how to grow. In the description, you can also download the link of Webull. I am affiliate, so if you download the Webull and you invest or deposit 100, you'll get, I think right now it's 3 free stocks. I get 3 free stocks and we can grow together. It's all about growing. So I have, just look in the description. I got information to help you grow, give you information. So, hey, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate you entrusting in me to watch my videos, watch it to the end. It's a lot of so good information. But if you want to know, you want to have a private conversation, you have certain, hey, I'm open. I'm open. I truly am sincere about helping people to become better, invested in themselves, build their credit. I'm telling you from my own experience, I went through that and my life changed when and me and my wife just turned around and really just did the right things and took care of our credit and all that. Like I said, my wife didn't have no credit cards. I got a stack like that now, but we don't use them like that. But we want to have access to money, right? Access to money could change everything. So if you got an emergency and you need it, you got it, right? So you're not stressed about it, not stressed about how you're going to pay your next bill, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. You know, you got it if you need to use it. So I appreciate you. Okay, this is Invest and Build Your Credit and Wealth. This is Larry. Hey, I appreciate your time hanging out with me and spending time listening to me talk in my videos and all that other type of stuff. But yeah, let's continue to grow in this journey. Continue and just entrusting me to bring you some solid, good information. I'll do my best. I promise to continue to give you the information so you can improve your own financial status out here in this coronavirus area. Man, I hate not being able to go out and hit the little spots and go to the VIP and just enjoy life. And man, I miss all that going to work, coming home and all that stuff, man. It gets old, man. So, but it is what it is. It's the new way of life right now. We just got to be patient. It's going to be over with. But again, I appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out with me. And hey, stay positive. Hey, invest in yourself. Pay yourself first before you pay anybody else. Commit to making sure that you take care of you first, because the only person that's going to take care of you is you. All right? So I appreciate y'all. Hey, and I'll see you the next time on the next video. Stay tuned.